At this point, it's pretty safe to say that they might be going on to a national championship. It'll be Mike O'Donnell's second, and it'll be Chris Murphy's first if they hold on, and it looks as though they will. Murphy now going to move to the back of the boat yet again, going to try to surf it in just that little bit. Mike O'Donnell will probably go right oar, which he does, yep, right there to try to right the boat a little bit better, straighten it out. Murphy takes a look, sees where everybody is. Oh, gets clipped a little bit by the boat, but right now not feeling anything other than the sweet feeling of victory. You can see how exhausted these guys are after 3 laps. It really is taxing, but well worth it when you win your first national championship.
In the early 1900s, there were some big financiers. Abbott Kinney developed a big resort area in the Venice region, and Huntington developed the Redondo area. And they opened these resorts and attracted a lot of people to the ocean, but people weren't comfortable and didn't know how to swim, and people that were supposed to protect them didn't have knowledge and didn't have the skills to make rescues. And so there was a gentleman named George Freeth, who was a Hawaiian, great swimmer, great surfer, diver, and he came out to California and taught people about how to make rescues. Initially, he taught them how to use a paddleboard. He came up with a landline system where there's a rope which looks like a rescue can. He used the dory, which was basically fishing vessels that were on the beaches, and when people were in distress, they'd launch the boat and go out and rescue them. So that's been an historic component of lifeguarding ever since, and every lifeguard emblem I've ever seen always has the oars crossed, and so I think we all recognize that the boats is where a lot of this started. First time I saw it was as a junior lifeguard, and we watched the big guys that we looked up to, the guys with all the muscles, and they were we all knew how to swim, we all knew how to paddle, but those were the guys that, wow, someday, maybe. And I think at this point now with technology, with PWCs and stuff, it's hard to make that connection for younger people. But I think what it really looks at is this culture of fitness that really, I think, is emblematic of what lifeguards should have. It takes a lot to be able to row. It takes a lot of strength, endurance, and wave knowledge and so forth. But I think as young people who come to junior lifeguard competitions, they come to watch our nighttime taplin and they see us showcased. They see the people in the dories are the modern gladiators of lifeguarding. So this is a competition that showcases the different elements of lifeguarding skills. We have to have good swimmers that can get out there and swim really fast. Paddlers had to negotiate the surf. And then the boat's emblematic of what lifeguarding is all about. When we're in a tower, we're constantly watching each other, backing each other up. Just showcases how much teamwork is so critical, such a critical component to lifeguarding. We always have each other's back.
I saw you said hello this morning, but I couldn't. It's okay. I'm getting old. My eyes. No, man. We always got on there.
One thing I say to people is, they say, "Are you training for Catalina?" I say, "No. I do Catalina, so I'll train." Some people swim from it. Some people paddle from it. Neither of those appeal to me, but I can sit in a boat and row from that. So that's. I think it's pretty self-evident. There's a destination, and let's see if you can chart that. First time I did it, well, that's probably 35 years ago, and I had no idea what to expect. And I had an older guy walk me through it, and we did our row, and it's grueling at that point, not knowing what you're up against. I'm sure anyone who ran a marathon or something that would just say like, "Oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?" And at about 3 hours into it, you're saying, "Wow, is this ever going to end?" These lifeguards that I looked up to when I was a junior lifeguard, and this culture of fitness that they instilled upon me, and so this is my way to perpetuate that for myself, but hopefully for others, to get people inspired to want to keep doing it. I had so much fun with this. My family had a lot of fun with this, and it actually kept me lifeguarding. I probably would have long since folded up if it weren't for that. So I'd like to see it keep going because it's part of a tradition, but it's also emblematic of everything we're trying to accomplish. You know, fitness, the teamwork, trying to be our best. All these things are, that's what these become, you know, just the metaphor for that type of stuff.
Before we break, let's all recognize this guy that has carried on the tradition of this race, and to have this type of showing for your 30th crossing, and it's kind of unofficially the 50th anniversary, 60th. So we have a tradition to carry on to the younger generation, and we owe in big part the O'Donnell Classic, which was originally the great Catalina Dory Race. Let's all give Mike a hand because he's kept this going.
Now we have a couple Pedro guys that take over too. So
what matters is we're trying to improve each other and ourselves, and in the byproduct of that is we make the beaches safer.